First, I knew the news headlines. And the news headlines are interesting and funny and worth, kind of enjoying for their own sake. But it wasn't until I met Lucien in person, like super briefly, I saw him speaking, that I started to understand that there was more to the organization and to the movement than kind of these pranks that were getting so much attention. So that was kind of when I started to really want to look more into it.
Penny came up to me after having learned some things about the Satanic Temple, which was rather unique from the pitches I would get. We would get a lot of insulting pitches for people who want to do reality-style shows or whatever else that we just weren't interested in at all. And at the point Penny had approached me, I was pretty certain I didn't want any documentary work done about us at all, but I really liked her previous work, and I really liked her understanding of the issues that we really wanted to bring to people's attention. So I thought she was a good person to kind of explore those topics in a cinematic form. Most people seem to have this impression of us that we were simply media hungry and that we were really pranking or trolling and having otherwise a really great time doing what we were doing. Penny seemed to understand that we really did have a deep passion for the issues we were confronting and with everything that we do. And a lot of us, including myself, aren't terribly eager to be on camera or interviewed for its own sake.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. Lucien does not like doing interviews or like being on camera at all, which was very interesting. I knew that right away about him, and it was so against the assumption that I had going into it. It made me more interested. Well, the first Satanic Temple action that I heard of was definitely the Baphomet campaign in Oklahoma, when they were fundraising to make this 8.5-foot tall bronze, goat-headed deity called Baphomet, and and I thought it was brilliant. Like many people who saw that story and those headlines and that campaign, was really made me smile. It made me think, and I thought it was really smart. Yeah.
The theocrats in our government now are fond of opening up public forums to kind of preserve religious expression, as they'll say, but really what they're fighting for is one viewpoint having exclusive privilege on the public grounds, and they don't expect another viewpoint to assert the right to equal access. So in Oklahoma, when they said they wanted to put up a Ten Commandments monument, they were avoiding an Establishment Clause issue by saying they were opening these public grounds to private expressions of religious belief. And it was one of the state legislators who donated a Ten Commandments monument, saying that this was private speech on the public grounds, so it wasn't government endorsed. Well, if that was the case, then they opened the grounds up to other private donations of religious expression as well, and that's why we made the Baphomet monument.
I guess one of the things that is very important people understand is that the argument of the film is not look how normal these people are. They're just like you and me. In fact, Satanists are not trying to be normal, and they don't want to be.
Yeah.
So they are expressing their religion and their identity in a way that is very clearly important to them and deserves the same respect as any other kind of religious expression.
That was kind of another reason why I felt Penny would be good to do a documentary with us. She seemed to understand that we weren't interested in being humanized, and a lot of pitches that came our way were eager to express to us that they just wanted to humanize us to people, to show people that we were normal, and we really don't care if people see us that way, so long as they judge us for what we actually do rather than making up these kinds of crimes associated with us. But otherwise, if people don't agree with our lifestyles or if people don't agree with people's sexual orientation or whatever else, we have no apology for that and don't think anybody should apologize for who they are.